Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from 4th Canto, Chapter 12, text number 34. Tatra tatra prashamsabbihi pati vaimanike sure avakiryamano dadrishe kusume kramasho grahan. While Dhruva Maharaj was passing through space, he gradually saw all the planets of the solar system, and on the path he saw all the demigods in their airplanes showering flowers upon him like rain. Purport. There is a Vedic version. Yasmin vijñāte sarvam evam vijñātam bhavati, which means that by knowing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything becomes known to the devotee. Similarly, by going to the planet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can know all the other planetary systems on the path to Vaikuntha. We should remember that Dhruva Maharaj's body was different from our bodies. While boarding the Vaikuntha airplane, his body changed to a completely spiritual golden hue. No one can surpass the higher planets in a material body. When one gets a spiritual body, he can travel not only to the higher planetary system of this material world, but even still higher planetary system known as Vaikuntha Loka. It is well known that Narada Muni travels everywhere, both in spiritual and material worlds. It should be noted also that while Suniti was going to Vaikuntha Loka, she also changed her body into spiritual form. Like Sri Suniti, every mother should train her child to become a devotee like Dhruva Maharaj. Suniti instructed her son even at the age of 5 years to be unattached to worldly affairs and go to the forest to search out the Supreme Lord. She never desired that her son remain at home comfortably without ever undertaking austerities and penances to achieve the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Every mother like Suniti must take care of her son and train him to become a brahmachari from the age of 5 years and to undergo severe austerities and penances for spiritual realization. The benefit will be that if her son becomes a strong devotee like Dhruva, certainly not only will he be transferred back home, back to Godhead, but she will also be transferred with him to the spiritual world, even though she may be unable to undergo austerities and penances in executing devotional service. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So now, the Vaikuntha airplane was moving up through all the planetary systems on its way to the spiritual world, Vaikuntha Loka. So we can see here that this material world continues into the spiritual world, except that this material world gets created and annihilated. Other than that, this material world is also an extended dimension of this Vaikuntha Loka. The Vaikuntha Lokas and the material universes, they are all vibhuti or the opulences of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Though Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, the cause of all causes, through the process of bhakti, he is becomes close to the devotees, yet you have to understand that the reality is that He is the cause of all causes. He is the master of all opulences. He is the owner of all these things, material existence and spiritual existence. So it's inconceivable personality. The Supreme Lord is an inconceivable personality. Yet we feel that we can chant His name, talk to Him, serve Him, do all these things because of His inconceivable kripa on the tiny living entities. So the idea that this material universe does not exist is not at all accepted as per the Bhagavata. As per Bhagavata. Illusion, yes, there is illusion. Illusion is in people's mind. Illusion, when you say illusion, it's not a reality. It means this is not a reality. What is not a reality? What you see is not a reality. And reality is something else. So whenever we talk of illusion, there is something real. Something real is seen as illusion. Just like you watch a movie, you say movie is an illusion. What you see in the movie, what story you see in your mind is illusion. Cinema screen cannot be illusion. The light patches across the cinema screen cannot be illusion. So there is a reality. That reality you are interpreting as an illusion. This is the understanding of Vaishnava philosophy of illusion. You generally, people in Mayavada philosophy, they illusion, they say, and everything is illusion, material world illusion, everything is illusion, people are illusion. In this way, where is all the Krishna's opulence of unlimited creation, Krishna's opulence of unlimited brilliant intelligence by which He has created this material existence? All these things are undermined when they say that this is all illusion. So as Vaishnavas, we have to always understand that this is the understanding. The Vaishnavas understand that this world is an opulence of the Lord. The creation is an opulence of the Lord. The Supreme Lord feels ownership of this existence. The Supreme Lord is the owner of so many energies. The concept of a personal God means He has got opulences, He has got rasa of being the owner of everything, controller of everything, sourcing everything, sarvakarana karana. These are all, there is a personality who feels all these things. It's a reality. That is an absolute truth. That is not accepted by impersonalism. So this shows that how Vaikuntha planet can come into our earthly planet and then can take the living entity in this airplane from material world to the spiritual world It is not, it's a disconnected reality, the spiritual world. That is why when Krishna comes down into this material world, he comes down as he is in his body. For Krishna, when Krishna comes into this material world, like when we come into this material world, we have to accept a material body. When Krishna comes into this material world, he comes as he is in his spiritual body. Similarly, if you see Narada Rishi, his body is spiritual body, but he is traveling all over the material world. Matter cannot, spirit can come into matter, matter cannot go into spirit. That is what Prabhupada is saying. If you don't get a spiritual body, you cannot go there. But spiritual body can come here. Spiritual airplane can come here. Material airplane cannot go there. And all these things can be only understood if you accept that Krishna is the owner of inconceivable Shaktis, inconceivable potencies. If you take in this world itself, material world itself, our material bodies, we as persons, even though we are covered with false ego, there is no meaning to person without his Shakti. His body is one kind of Shakti. Body itself is a Shakti, material energy. Then the material energy itself, material energy, various kind of Shakti is there. Sharira Shakti is there. Buddhi Shakti is there. All kinds of Shaktis are associated with the person, otherwise person has no meaning. Person has no meaning without Shakti. Like everybody has got different financial power. Because we are sample God. God has got unlimited energy. He is a Bhagavan. What we possess, everything he possesses in unlimited quantities. We possess a body sometimes of some beauty. Krishna possesses his eternal body of unlimited beauty. All personal qualities, personal characteristics, personhood features are in the Lord in infinite scale. And he has relationship with we also. We are not separate from him. We are also one Shakti. We are one type of Shakti of the Lord. Shakti cannot be Shaktiman. Prabhupada explains that the Mayavadis, they say that we are also God. So Shastrically Prabhupada proves, Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya himself proves that Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, we are energy. We are not God. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives the example of the sun and sunlight, sun rays. Sun ray is the energy of the sun. The sun is the source of, you cannot say sun ray is equal to sun. Sun rays, but at the same time we can say the sun ray is also heat and light. Sun is also heat and light. So always there is an eternal difference. Though quality I can think, feel and will, God can think, feel and will. This is qualitative oneness. Doesn't mean I can think like Krishna. One day if I become a Pakka yogi, then I can think like Krishna, feel like Krishna, will like Krishna. No, not possible. So quality is one. So, but the Mayavadis, they merge the whole consciousness, tiny consciousness, will merge into infinite consciousness. Therefore, they say that there is no difference between God and us. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed that we are eternal servants of Krishna. That is we are all persons, God is a person. And because of unconstitutional desire, we are there in this material world. Entrapped in these material bodies. Material bodies are not our bodies. Material bodies are meant in the material world according to enjoy according to karma, independently. Which you cannot do in the spiritual world. So if we have to go back to the spiritual world, we will have to get a spiritual body. We have to be, and just as Dhruva Maharaj has got. So these things are all can be experienced by us if we follow Srila Prabhupada's instruction. In countable number of years of our material age, because we all have to die. We all have to give up this body. And our way back to Godhead is no different from the way in which Dhruva Maharaj has gone. So whatever difficulties may be in this life, in this body, we have to tolerate it and firmly fix our faith in Krishna. And within a conceivable time, we will also be carried to the spiritual world, to Vaikuntha Loka. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, mercy of the holy name. So such is the path that we are on. Now coming to the second part of the purport, it said here that more elaborately is being discussed how Suniti, even though she did not do all the austerities and tapasya like Dhruva Maharaj, she got a spiritual body just by the mercy of her son. So Prabhupada is explaining that real mothers should be like this. They should see that their children perform penances and austerities of brahmacharya and other devotional austerities right from their childhood, so that by their self-realization, the mother can also go back to Godhead. Very often, parents whose children join, they say that I was thinking my son is there for me, but so unfortunate, he has gone and joined ISKCON. But actually he is really there for him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that 7 generations, this way and that way, 14 generations, those souls get liberated. If one person in the family becomes a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, engages in his mission, automatically so much benefit is there for the parents. So is it right for the parents to say that my son has gone, now he is not there for me? And we know the truth, that our devotional service, our austerities, whatever we do, it is going to benefit all of them. And that is the reason why devotees, not because they are hard-hearted, that they leave the parents and come to Krishna consciousness. No doubt there will be some pain because of attachments. There will be some pain. But that pain is a purifying pain. Otherwise, millions of lives also, they have no hope to get liberated from the material suffering. So that little pain will be there. That also devotee understands. That pain is purifying. That pain of the parents is purifying. They'll get purified by this because Krishna is the cause. If Krishna is the cause of anything, then it purifies. Just like Krishna killed Asuras, he was the cause of killing, they became purified. Similarly, Krishna is the cause for the parents who are feeling pain that my son has gone to and engaged in devotion service of the Lord. For me there is nobody. But Krishna gives them all the blessings. Of this there is no doubt. Apparently, materially speaking, so what? Everybody has their karma. Even if after coming to Krishna consciousness also, after being full-time devotee also, if Krishna decides so much of our karma has to be burnt out, we may get sickness, we may get sick. So many things can happen. That can happen to devotee also, that can happen to parents also. That is part of life. Happiness, distress, sukha, dukkha is part of life, part of the bodily life. So Prabhupada says here, the benefit will be that if her son becomes strong devotee like Dhruva, certainly not only will he be transferred back home, back to Godhead, but she will also be transferred with him to the spiritual world. Even though she may be unable to undergo austerities and penances in executing devotion service. So this is Prabhupada's message to the mothers who give their children to Krishna consciousness movement. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Lord says if the son becomes a pure devotee, so many generations get liberated. This liberation, does it mean they go back to Godhead, or this means that they get out of the material entanglement?
They get freedom from material sufferings. Afterwards they have to become devotees. Because what is their desire? They are not desiring Krishna. If the mother desires Krishna, then they'll go back to Godhead. But if the mothers are not desiring Krishna, what is the default desire? Material happiness. Right? Freedom from suffering. Freedom from suffering. So freedom from suffering can come in so many ways. Suffering can come by only happiness in this world. A life full of happiness in this world. That can be, but that cannot be a permanent feature. And another freedom from happiness is what? Is liberation from sukha and dukkha. That is Brahman realization. So even that they have to desire. Otherwise they don't get that liberation. That is also a particular type of liberation. But when we say liberation from material miseries, they get. Nobody can enter the spiritual world without devotion. Nobody can enter the spiritual world. There is no place there Everybody, unless you cultivate your bhakti, you cannot enter the spiritual world. You have to awaken your spiritual consciousness. You awaken your bhakti. And for that, free will is very important. It is due to our misuse of free will. It is due to our free will that we are here. So if by association they exercise their free will, that I have left Krishna, therefore I am having all this suffering, I want to go back to Krishna. It need not be very great desire. Any simple person can feel, I want to go to Krishna. A simple lady can, you don't need to be a yogi, can create this desire, I want to go to Krishna. Then they will go, just like Suniti. Because she knows, she is the one who told. She knows about Krishna consciousness, she knows about Vishnu, she knows about Narayana. Janma karma chame divyam yo evam yo veti tattvadaha tektva deham punar janmaneti mameti sorjuna. If you have to go back to Godhead, you have to know the tattva of Krishna. That he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And tattva, that he does not have a material body, there is a spiritual world. He is a spiritual body. If you please him, you can see him. That is what Suniti told. So Suniti had knowledge that Krishna is Krishna Tattva. She knows about the Krishna Tattva. You cannot see him with this material eyes. You can see him even with the material eyes, because if he wishes to come before you. Any other question?
Prabhu, so the basic qualification is must. Even if a mother is a devotee's mother, she must have the basic qualification, understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
To go back to Godhead, not for liberation.
To go back to Godhead. Because many times when we preach, especially the couple, husband says, if wife chants, that's enough. I need not chant. I'll get the credit of that. So in this case, Dhruva Maharaj has performed all the austerities, and when they say, husband says like that, we tell them, no, her credit she will get, and for you have to do separately.
If she is merciful, she can give credit. Just like Dhruva was merciful. Therefore, what asset he has, he can give. He gave. So the person has to bless.
So this is exceptional only in devotional service. When it comes to karma, it is not so. Is it, Prabhu? Because in karma, one person does karma and he only has to suffer or enjoy.
No, it's not correct also. Karma also
is transferable.
Karma accounts does not go anywhere. But by the blessings of somebody, just like you see, you have a debt. I have money. I am your friend. You come to me. And I give you my money. And you clear your debt. So in the material world, there is a lot of exchange of karma happens. Lot of exchange of karma happens. So you go to sadhus who have got a lot of punya. They bless you. Many of your bad karmas can go away. So law of karma is not that simple. But somebody has to take it. Somebody has to handle that. That is the stringent laws of karma. Not that you only have to suffer. Somebody has to neutralize it. Somebody has to burn it. Just like spiritual master takes one's karma at the time of this thing, means he takes charge of your karma. Karma doesn't vanish. He has to handle it by dovetailing it. And another way karma is, by the powerful transcendental knowledge, karma can burn also. Karma can burn. If you develop powerful transcendental knowledge, Your past karma you can burn. Sinful reactions you can burn. Transcendental knowledge, Divya Jnana has that power. So there is destruction of karma, there is transfer of karma. In transfer of karma, there is no destruction of karma. If we have to go back to Godhead, karma has to be destroyed. If karma is left, we will come back into this material world. Prayaschita, you have, due to past activities, you have sufferings. Then the Shastra talks about prayaschita. That means you do certain punya, that punya power will counter this papa, which is causing you suffering. Any other question? That is why you don't allow people to touch your feet. Devotee touch is different. Because anyway their karma is all handled by Krishna. That is not the thing. But karmis, you should know what all karma there. No connection with devotional service. This is a huge stock of karma they have. They come and touch your feet. And that you are carrying it. Something of their karma you are carrying. Any other question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. You told when it is mentioned that 7 generations previous and 7 generations future, 14 generations will be liberated if a devotee has dedicated his life. So how do we understand the 7 generations of future? Because that means they are entering the material world and then they are getting liberated, means actually they are getting entangled, no? Once they enter into. So how we understand this 7 generations in future getting liberation?
What is the difficulty? 7 generations will be there.
So what I understood
Generation
is that a devotee takes shelter of Krishna, he is stopping the further cycle of birth and death.
He is stopping, but his people and all will continue generations. Your brothers are there, sisters are there, their children are there, all this father, mother, and they will have children, all that. Is it not?
So they all get liberation.
This punya is so powerful, that's what it means. That it is almost inexhaustible punya when you surrender to Krishna. So therefore there is sharing of, because everywhere there is some obligations. Within a family means obligations. When you are born in a family means it's all connections. Obligations are there. So there are all those obligations will continue. So therefore they deserve also. Each soul is connected, especially when it is within a family. They are connected, karmically connected.
Again, that means liberation from the material miseries they will get, but they have to further desire for Krishna consciousness if they have to become pure devotees and go back to Godhead.
They have to have Krishna consciousness. They have to meet a pure devotee to go back to Godhead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. As we see from the translation, the material body, when travels to the spiritual world.
Not with the material bodies.
Example like Santukaram and Santukaram. And as you see in material, in this Kali Yuga also, so many other devotees travels from the material body to spiritual world. So as you told, the one part, karma, if karma left something, then we can't enter the spiritual world. So how we can know and identify whether the karma is left or not?
Karma is?
Left or not. How to identify that one?
If karma has to leave, you have to surrender to Krishna. How do we know? If you have surrendered to Krishna, then karma is gone. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja ham tam sarva papebhyo moksheshyam ma suchaha. So then only you will know. Like Narada Rishi, he went in the same body to the spiritual world. He can travel up and down because it's a karma-free body. Karma-free body. You have to burn the karma. There is a process to burn the karma. This whole process of chanting Hare Krishna is to totally burn the karma. Karma means it has come out of self-centered desires. That means the root of karma itself should go. That I don't want self-centered. All my desires are Krishna-centered desire. Yes, next question.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. See, laws of karmas are very intricate. You explained very well. I totally understand. That's why Hare Krishna is my friend, guide and philosopher. That's all. So what he directs, I just do with earnest. Now, am I missing something or that's sufficient?
You're missing to chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna.
Okay.
You chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna, every day, karma will be cleaned by Prabhupada's mercy. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.